Natalia, would you take a look at this? It is almost hard to believe. We're here on the main street at Lake Conjola. We're around 100 metres away from where the lake actually is, and this is the main street, and it is flooded. At first light this morning, the waters were around 1.5 metres. They're now sitting at around 1.9 metres, and water is slowly creeping into a number of residents' homes. It was around 2:30 this morning when the local caravan park, the SES, were door knocking, warning people about the floods coming this way and giving them the option to self-evacuate. And there have been people wading through the waters here trying to get out. People around here in canoes as well, as they're taking a look at what is exactly happening here. It is so difficult to believe that this is the situation here at Lake Conjola after what an incredibly difficult start to the year it's been here for so many residents. It is such a bushfire affected area, and just up the road here there are still many homes which are completely destroyed by the recent fires.
I didn't think it would do what it did, because the lake was virtually empty because of the evaporation and being closed. I've never seen a fire burn that side of the lake in 40 years of living here, and that was scary, and now you get this again.
There's been 78 millimetres of rain here at Lake Conjola in the last 24 hours. Just up the road at Nowra, there's been close to 200 millimetres of rain. This low is moving in a southerly direction. There is expected to be more rainfall throughout the afternoon. We'll have more updates as they come, Natalia.
OK, Zara, thank you. And in Sydney, residents on the northern beaches have been forced to defend their properties after storms lashed the region. Ruth Wynne-Williams is there.
We are right on high tide here in Coleroy, and this is the legacy of last night's violent storm. This sea foam, another spectacle in this unpredictable summer. But the water that came in with the tide last night, it did cause considerable concern in this area and right through the neighbouring suburb of Narrabeen. An evacuation order for around 4,000 properties went out around 7 o'clock last night, with fears floodwaters could inundate homes and leave this area completely cut off. The SES did have to rescue a number of people from their lakeside homes. There were around 111 flood rescues right around the state last night, and a huge 10,000 call-outs. Some people went to evacuation centres, while others, like business owners, they turned to sandbags to try and beat the deluge as it came rushing in.
The water just came calming up the street from this direction and that direction. Before I knew it was about a foot outside the door. So we just closed up. Everyone was out of sandbags. We had to go down to the beach, get the sandbags from the beach and put it up against the doors.
Well, some residents, they began to return home this morning. Ian Hughes was very relieved to find the real threat of landslide had spared his house.
We had to evacuate 2 young kids, carried them out through the floodwaters, and went over to SJJA, our local jiu-jitsu gym, and slept there the night.
Look, the weather out here has eased this morning, but the return of the high tide, that is being watched very closely. There is some relief from residents that the floodwaters didn't rise to more dangerous levels. Now, like so many communities throughout New South Wales this summer, a major clean-up is underway and could take some time.
And across the border in Queensland, residents are in the thick of a massive clean-up effort after floods practically swallowed the town of Dalby, northwest of Brisbane. Sophie Upcroft is there.
Dalby is today extremely waterlogged, but thankfully not underwater after the threat of storms overnight didn't come through. Floodwaters have been able to recede. They dropped below a minor flood warning this morning. This comes after the Mile Creek broke its banks in the early hours of yesterday afternoon. A massive 3.15 metre torrent of raging floodwater swept through the town. It swallowed roads, submerged bridges, and even gushed through backyards into the bottom levels of low-lying homes. Thankfully, no homes were destroyed and no lives have been lost. Today, the focus is very much on the massive clean-up effort. Street sweepers are in action, council workers on the shovels removing mud and fixing roads. Here is the Dalby Mayor.
We're looking at a pretty major impact. Our council staff have already started clean up, as you can see across from the bridge over here. A lot of debris, a lot of soil on the roads and that. and a lot of repairs back to our roads where there's been damage done.
There is still a chance that we could see more flooding here in Mile Creek if we get more heavy rainfall, but thankfully it won't be anything like the inundation they received yesterday.
2 men have been arrested after the death of another man